Welcome back to Made of Wires. We're going to do a short stream today. Go to soten.z.dev to learn more about the Symphony Night decompilation project. We're going to decompile some Sifa Grant Ralph boss fight, as we have been for the past couple days, weeks maybe. We're getting close. Looks like we have about 8 or so functions left, and hopefully we can get through a couple of those. I'm going to work on the smaller ones because my time is a little constrained. We'll go through them fast. How about that? And when we're done, then we have to decide what to move on to next. I think there's a bunch of cleanup here and some other stuff. But let's get to it. Let's see. These were entity boss doors. Trying to see what these functions were. This was the one I started yesterday that wasn't going too quick. I'm going to work on the small ones first, and then we'll get into it. So this is the Soten Decomp project. You can find it on GitHub, as well as instructions about how to set up the project and use your own copy of the game to help if you are so interested in. Lots of contributors, probably 40 or so actually. I'm just one of them. Haven't been doing much contribution lately, except on the stream, and then I'll package this all up. What I wanted to do with this RBO 0, if you look at your Symphony of the Night game disk or files, you'll find an RBO0.bin file in the boss directory. That's what we're working on. That's where that name comes from. What I wanted to do is decompile the entire thing and then ship off a PR for the whole overlay on PSP and PlayStation. So I'm going to look at this 1.5BFC file. These files are named just based on their offset. So this is the C file. This is the C functions, or the functions that get compiled and start at the 1.5BFC offset, which is the same as saying, if I can, not in 16, not in hex mode, 1.5BFC. It's the same as saying 89,000 bytes or so into the file. All right, let's get back to it. So we're looking for the include ASM functions. I think I can just go in order. All of these have been pretty similar. I've been trying to get through as many of these as possible, and like I said, we're down to about 8 or so, and I'm hoping a bunch of these go pretty quick, and then there's 1 or 2 that are going to take a little bit longer. Maybe we can finish those off by the end of the week. So I'm going to look at ASM. That's where the assembly gets extracted to. US, that's the version we're going to start with. Boss, which is the directory on the disk. RBO0, which is also a directory on the disk. Hey, Romy. And we're looking at non-matching. So these are functions that have not been matched yet. The C file is represented as a directory in here, and then we're going to choose the next one here. And I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to go over to decomp.me, and we'll start. And so I like to start with the PlayStation version of the game, and then I'll come back after getting 80 or 90% of the way through that and bring up the PlayStation or PSP version of the game, which uses a different compiler. This one actually should go pretty quick, I think. Different version of the compiler. Different compiler completely, but the same source most of the time. Most of the time we can find the same source that compiles to both. Because this is similar to other ones, I'm going to go through this relatively quickly. And if you're in chat and you're live, not watching on YouTube, not liking, subscribing, you can stop me if I don't call something out. Good to have you back roaming. Always appreciate you showing up. So all these functions use very few variables. Variables in C89, which is what was used here, typically need to be declared at the top of the block that they're in. And so we'll see those up top. And this block 25. Hey, Pedro. Good to have you. be a return. So like I said, I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly. I'm going to flip this around. Do I want to flip it around? Nah, I'm not going to flip it around. Never mind. Yeah, actually I might. I'm going to say greater than 100 instead of less than 101. And put the destroy up here. And this is going to be a return, not a break. And that gets rid of one level of indentation, which I like. It might not be the way that it was written. We'll see. Temp B0, I'm going to rename that to offset X. And get rid of that. See if there's anything else. We have these bar B0 red variables. Those are going to be gone. This is interesting. So this is, we see this pulling in negative velocity x, and then adding a 3 or not to it, depending on the value, and then shifting over by 2. What's happening here is this is an early check for a division. So I'm pretty sure, not going to hang my hat on it, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a divide by equal 4. And then all of this other stuff goes away. What else? I haven't looked at the assembly yet. Looks like maybe divide by equal negative 4. Nope. I'm wrong. Trying to figure out where that flags comes from. Something is out of order there. I'll have to, oh, the plus plus is what, so instead of plus equals 1, plus plus gets us a match. That was pretty quick. This is not going to be perfect. So I'm probably going to have to go and look at the PSP version anyway, but we have a rare exact match. Pretty uncommon to see. So I have been working on a bunch of these, and so I was actually able to go through them just one by one and go to the next one, and it was in the same order in the PSP as well, which tells you that those are probably in the same file and the same order. I lost my place when I was getting ready for the stream, so I'm going to use this sound effect ID, and that's how we're going to find the PSP version. So I'm going to grep for that recursive, that sound effect ID in the PSP directory boss, RBOO. And non-matchings. This is going to be in, I think this 2B48 function, or yeah, directory, but corresponds with that file. Copy that. pbcopy is a command that mirrors the Mac OS command pbcopy. I use it to copy things from my Linux computer back to my Mac. Speaking of copying things to my Linux computer, I was looking at Weibo. Weibo is a very minimal wine-like utility for running Windows executables in Linux, specifically Linux or Windows command line executables. So we're not quite there. Let's look at this on line 22. Yeah, the ordering here looks wrong. It's better. And I had come to believe that running so this is correct now, except for these globals, that even with Rosetta, Mac OS would not be able to run 32-bit x86 code on the newer ARM, like M1 and later Macs. And the Weibo guys have some initial work done to get that stuff to run. If I could run this project natively on my Mac, that would be awesome. I'm going to try the US version first. That works. And let's open up the PSP version. And for the PSP version, I'm going to fix the symbols. So I haven't imported any of the data yet. And so we have different symbols between the two versions of the game. I'm going to keep it that way until everything else matches. I find that work boring and don't necessarily like to do it on the stream. Necessary, but not terribly exciting. So each of these, decomp.me tells us if we're matched, if we're close to match, what the difference is. Once it's matched, we take it back to the C file, replace the include ASM macro or include RO data macro with that file, and then when we build, we get some verification. Ignore the debug output. That was from the Metro Wrap work that I've been doing earlier. So I submitted the Metro Wrap stuff. Metro Wrap is a replacement for MWCC gap. There's a PR out for that now, but because I split it off from this branch, all my debug stuff for MWCC gap is showing up as I go through. So now we're in kind of a nice place, and what I think I'm going to do, since I have the PSP version open right now, I'm going to start with that version this time. We're going to go to this FD90 function. Oops. No exclamation point. There we go. Let's see if we can get that one done. So 7 left. What can we get down to? Let's see if we can get to 5 left by the end of the stream. I have 25 minutes. See if we can do it. These have all been going very quickly. So normally I don't start with the PSP version, so this is going to be slightly different. The idioms and things that show up, some of them are going to be nicer, some of them are going to be not as nice. But it should go pretty straightforward. These are all relatively simple. The big thing is going to be PSP is going to like to make many variables, and it's going to do things like replace arg0 with sp10. All of those will just make self, make arg0 self. Let's get rid of these question marks. We won't need these G entities. It's nice that both of those have symbols. I should do that on the PlayStation, I think. So even like where we start out, often on the PlayStation, we're starting out in the 70s or 80s. Here we're starting out at 58.7%. That's not ideal. We have our default block kind of in the middle here. Default is going to be the end. It's going to be after the switch. Also not ideal. All of our go-to block 22s are going to be breaks. That's all fine. So I think my preference for starting with the PlayStation stands. So we have a timer here. I've been really bad about creating entity extensions. That's also a pain and also slows things down. This is a timer. So we're doing a few things to check the timer. Are the last 3 bits of the timer set? Decrement the timer and check it against 0. Timers are usually signed. Not always, but usually. Right, I think that's, we have this temp A is 0, is that self? I think there's 2 we're going to call offset X, that may be the only real variable in all of this. Maybe there's an entity variable too. Yeah, there is. All right, so we're about 90. There's actually 1 more variable. I got rid of too many. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. Thank you, roaming. I couldn't remember if it did or not. Let's see where we're wrong. 19, we're going to be doing a truthy check here instead of explicit check against 0. 29 looks like possibly a variable. So this is going to be offset Y. Can't believe, and I appreciate it, but I'm glad that people are paying close enough attention that they can check my work over the shoulder. That's astounding. I really do appreciate it. I'm totally not being sarcastic. That was the only sarcasm in that statement. Okay, 30. We're getting a different register for the variable, but the variable is being used. So I'm going to leave that there, and we'll see if that works itself out by the time we get to the end. Can I write this as XOR 1? No. Okay, so there is a subtraction. Oh, I missed the subtraction. Oh, there we go. As usual, there's a phantom offset Y here that was never used. That has happened frequently in this overlay. And now we're at 30. I think those other... Oh, no, we still have register issues. This one here, that should fix it. Alright, I think that's probably it. Yes, this one is done as well. FD90. Missing declaration. going to put that declaration in there for the PlayStation version. I'm actually not going to start a new scratch for the PlayStation version. We only have the function name and one global. I'm reasonably certain that this will match. So I'm just going to go for it. What we do need is the correct function name. And then we'll open that function and figure out what the variable is. It'll be this one here. And assuming that this is the match, it should be all we need. And that was it. So we didn't need to go to decomp.me for that one. Two more. So another relatively small one. Let's do that on the PSP as well. These are in a different order though. So let's look at FD90. We're going to go to the next include ASM. It's actually before this. So there is a split here. These functions are out of order. Let's look. Oh, might as well start with the PlayStation. Why not? I rebased and there's some fields that have been replaced. I really have not been involved lately with interacting with anybody working on the project, and that's to my own detriment. So, thank you, roaming. What are you adding this time, Eldritch? This boss is almost done, and I've been thinking about your request for a second familiar, and maybe I'll do something about that. This looks almost identical to the other function that we just worked on. Oh, foil familiars, that's great. Have you been playing Balatro? Holographic familiars? No, I did not. I did not hear that. I don't have merged chats, not because of a Twitch rule, but because I'm too stupid to know how to do it. I'm sure Balatro got it from Magic too. So when you found the familiar, it would have a random some random roll with different attributes, or would the foil always give you the same advantage? And are these in addition to the other familiars? Or do they replace them? Oh, no new stats. Do you have the graphics part worked out? So like the other one, there's going to be an offset Y here, and that offset Y is going to be removed from the PlayStation version because it's dead code. Awesome. Are you using the decomp project to generate the assembly, or are you doing all that yourself? All right, I'm trying to, so probably have some out of order funniness here. Try to move flags up. I hate figuring out the order of these. I see. I see. It's CLUT changes. Okay, what I want to do. Yeah, that is exciting. I think anything like that is fun. And so, is it going to be? They will be random though. I guess it doesn't have to be random. It just has to be different. Maybe random per seed. All right. So there's some ordering here, which the PSP will help us determine. I could probably just look at the function that we just did, and it probably is all there too. But let's see. Do we have a sound effect in this one? We do not. The animation current frame is strange. That might be unique enough. Let's use that. So here I'm going to look for comma, that constant value, and then the end of a line. Constant values are put into registers two different ways. They can be added to 0, or they can be ORed with 0. Either one is appropriate, and I usually don't know which one is going to be chosen by the compiler, and I don't know why the compiler chooses one or the other. And that's not because it's some deep secret or anything. It's just not something I've looked into. So we do have two functions that use that value. And so I want to choose another value then. Let's try, so we have this offset 220 here. Let's try that one as well. So I'm going to switch this to list file. Then xargs takes a list of files and runs the same command on them. So I'm going to do the same thing there. Same idea for 220 at the end of the line. And, oh, it's maybe 221. It's probably greater than or equals to. And we get the same two files. So let's look at both of those and see if there's anything else that we can use to differentiate them, including where these files are and what they're related to. This is an A98. So these are two files at the end of this function that has some merit. We have our destroy entities. The other one I'm guessing is basically the same. What other values do we have that are unique? Nothing really. I'm gonna 50-50 shot. Toss of a coin. I'm gonna go with this one. We'll see. Every familiar has a 1 in 69 chance that number was chosen totally randomly. And a 1 in 420 chance Another number chosen completely randomly. Oh, divided by 4. Thank you, roaming. Appreciate it. That looks better. Let's move this back around. Still can't get the order. Thank you. I appreciate the fix. Without bias. I believe you. Oh, interesting. We don't have the extra offset calculation down here. A little different. Excuse decomp.me. 31. Yeah, this is out of order. And that was that. So, two things. You had an extra calculation. I preemptively put it there because it has been in most of the other ones. Oh, 7 minutes. I have 7 minutes left on my clock. Can I get the other one done too? The last one? So I was right, though. I did choose the right function to replace. And I probably should make a note in the file that this is the same as, so this is a split here. And oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that's not a split. Seven, 5, 9, 8. All right, so that worked there as well. So we have those, and last one we're on the PSP. So let's keep going with the PSP. Five minutes. I used to have a clock that I would put up occasionally. Mostly it was a countdown timer because I was trying to steal world records of decompiling. As far as I know, I have the world record in decompiling Castlevania weapons. I don't remember what I had it written down at one point, what my time was. I think I'm much faster now, though, so I should start over. So we're going to do the same things here. SP10 is going to be self. I should upload it to speedrun.com or whatever that site is. I believe this is self. I don't know why it got moved into yet another. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, this is a parent. Usually one less than is the parent. So I'll call it parent. That's a more reasonable name. And we're gonna probably do this twice. Maybe not. Temp V1 NM curve frame. It's always curious to me when they pull out fields into variables and when they don't. I don't really see a rhyme or reason to when that's done. So I started programming in C in like 1999, if that dates me. And even at the time, so that was 5 or 6 years after they would have started this, we had our own superstitions of what various things. This is going to be an EID. I need to look that up. I have 3 minutes. I can do this. We're close. We're close. We'll get this one done. And doing things like reading a field into a variable because you thought it may I'm gonna cheat for now. Can't do that, can I? Because that's not how that will expand. Okay, I'm gonna keep these different for the moment. These will differ between the two versions. So I'm going to take this. We'll find out what this value is in a second. We need to give it an entity ID name eventually, but not yet. So we have 2 things to worry about. One is this entity ID. This will be a constant in the PlayStation version. And then the other one, which will be init, will be a reference because it's an array. So we're going to take this, and now we need to get a few things. But this one shouldn't require decomp.me either. So we need the correct function name, which is the 7764. And, oh no, we need, this variable is what our init is going to be. Wrong keybind. And then, oh, nope, that was the wrong one. Is it the wrong one? The next one is going to be the trickiest one. Before this destroy entity call, we're going to be looking for a constant that we're doing branch if equal against. I think it's this 1C. And we could verify that in a different way, but I like to play fast and loose. And I'm lazy, so I'm going to do this based on best information. It failed because I forgot to get rid of the include ASM line. And it succeeded. So that was right. That was the right constant. So what we'll see is in source boss RBOO ST init PSP, we'll see one of these globals being set to 1C. That's this 30F8 variable here. That's going to be our same 30F8 variable here. And eventually we'll get a global that is set to map to the correct entity ID. So that's that. That's all I got. And oh, my timer's at 0. Go to soten.z.dev to learn more. Let's see what we got. I think we have 4, maybe 5. 3? Oh, we have 3 left. Then we're done. Adios. Hey, Cristiano. Good to have you back. Been a while. Appreciate you showing up, Eldritch, Roaming, and everybody else. Adios.